So here we are continuing our journey through algebra. Now we're looking at our basic equations 2. We're going to look at what happens when there's a bit of multiplying involved. So what approach are we going to have to take when we find ourselves asked to solve an equation that involves a multiply? So for example, 4x equals 20. Well, what we'll be expected to do is recall from our earlier algebra skills that we already know that 4x should just mean 4 times x, right? 4 multiplied by x, or if we prefer, 4 lots of x. Okay, so we should already be aware of that. And so we should know that what this means is we're looking for 4 multiplied by something that gives us 20. Okay, so if we were to write that out in a more formal way, we might want to say 4 multiplied by x equals 20, rather than just 4x equals 20. 4 lots of x equals 20. 4 multiplied by what is 20? Well, 4 multiplied by 5 gives me 20. Right? And often people want to do it this way and they just leave that as their answer, but that's not how we solve an equation. Right? When we're doing it, we need to be able to write our answer so that it says x equals 5. Right? You need to come out and explicitly tell me what value should the letter be taking. Right? So every time we're solving an equation, your very final line should tell me the letter equals this number, right? I shouldn't have to go hunting for it somewhere in your working. So how can we do that in a formal way then? How can we solve this? Well, we're going to do it in a similar way to the way that we solved the last ones. So for example, if I've got 2f equals 14, 2 lots of f is equal to 14, right? 2 multiplied by this unknown thing f equals 14. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the inverse. So the opposite of multiplying by 2. Well, the opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. And what that's going to do is that's going to leave me with just the f on its own. Right? If I multiplied something by 2 and then divided it by 2, those opposites cancel out. Okay, and that leaves me with just the f part that I want. Okay, in dividing that side by 2 though, I've untipped my balance. And so I need to make it equal again, and so I need to divide the other side by 2. And so that means I'm left with just f on the left hand side equal to 7 on the right. Right? And again, if we come back to what it is we were thinking of, 2 lots of what is 14? 2 lots of 7 is 14. Okay, so this works so far. Next one, I've got 3j equals 27, so 3 lots of j is equal to 27. So again, we need to think about what the inverse is. So the inverse of multiplying by 3 is the opposite of multiplying by 3, dividing by 3. So if I divide that side by 3, I'm going to be left just with the j that I want. And if I divide the other side by 3, I've balanced my equation again. Okay, so again, remember we need to do the same thing to both sides. And so that's going to leave me with j is equal to 27 divided by 3, which is 9. And lastly, here I've got 10y equals 60, so I've got 10 multiplied by y equals 60, 10 lots of y. Okay, so what's the inverse of multiplying by 10? It's going to be dividing by 10, so I need to divide that side by 10. And again, all we're looking to do here is get rid of that number that's in front of the letter. I want to get it narrowed down to just one lot of the letter. So I'm dividing that side by 10. I need to do the same thing to the other side. I need to divide it by 10. And so when I do 10 divided by 10, I just get the one I was looking for. I just get y. And when I do 60 divided by 10, I find that y is equal to 6. And so even for these questions where it appears as though the answer is a little bit obvious, when we start doing these, I need to see your operations, right? I need to see these little bits that we've included where we've written little divide by 2s, or little divide by 3s, or little divide by 10s. I need to see what it is that you are doing. Okay, whilst I appreciate that some of these are very intuitive and you can just look at it and work it out, we are going to very quickly build up to more complicated ones where it's not going to be so obvious. And so you need to have a way of very formally solving your equations.